Thank you and welcome into this video. I would like to take you through how you can register for monthly rental income, which we refer to as MRI, in case you are a landlord who earns rental income which are raised between the annual sales threshold by the Revenue Authority of 288,000 to 15 million annually, which average to rent above 24,000 in a month. So that is what technically it reflects. So in case you earn this, you are required by law to file for the monthly rental income, which is charged at a rate of 7.5% of the gross earning from your rental property. So you are not allowed to deduct any expense from your rental income for you to charge for the 7.5%. So this 7.5% is the final tax for the MRI, so you are not required to pay any other tax. That's why it is charged from the gross income of your rental property. So in order to do the registration, what you're supposed to do, just get into the iTax portal. After getting to the iTax portal, you just enter your KRA pin. So I just enter my pin here, which is A015 43007A. Then you need to hit continue. When you hit continue, you just need to enter the password. Just do a simple mathematical computation, which is here, which is technically 35 minus 11, giving me a value of 24. Then you need to hit login. When you hit login, you need to come to where we have registration. Then come to where we have the monthly rental income, or MRI. So we need to register or update property in e-rental income tax service. So we just click here. So what I'll do, I'll click here to proceed to this portal, which is the e-rental income tax service, kra.go.ke. So I need to select the service which I want. So the service which I want is to register a rental, to register a property. So I just click get started. So you have two methods where you can do this. You can either log in using your KRA pin, which is here, which in my scenario, it usually disallow me. So just log in using the eCitizen method. So in case it fails, just use the eCitizen method. So you just enter your ID or your email address and password, and then I can click remember, then I'll sign in. So when you sign in, you can get your OTP either using your phone number or your eCitizen email. I just used to use my phone number, it's more easier. So when an OTP will be sent in my phone number, so which is here. So it's just a one-time password, which is here. Let me populate it here. Just a minute, I populate it here. Okay. So after that, I'll hit next to continue. So I'll be taken into this interface. So what I'll do basically, I'll just click proceed. So after proceeding, I'll get into this account. So I'll be redirected. To the e-rental income tax service. So let me give it time to redirect me there. So select your income. So I am a landlord account. So I'm assuming you are a landlord. So I'll get into this area. So what I need to do, we need to register a new property. So I just come here and click register new property. So I can give this property name. I can call it SK Properties or SK Gardens. So the property name, I'll just call it SK Gardens. SK Gardens. Then I need to enter the RAD number. So just use a hypothetical RAD number because I don't want to use an actual RAD number. So just use 29123/47. So this probably doesn't exist. That's why I have chosen it. So I can choose it SK Garden. Okay. Then I'll click validate. So in your case, you enter the actual details. So I'm just choosing this because it's just for demo purposes. So just enter your property name and the RAD registration number. So from there, I'll come here. You just need to enter the location. So the location of the property is in Kiambu. The sub-county, I can choose Gatundu South. The ward, I can choose Kigajo Ward. you need to enter some descriptive address here, so I can just Kigajokyo. Then you need to enter the number of the building in there. So this is the number of the building complex. So if it is one building housing like containing two houses, you just need to enter it is one building. So you just come here. In my scenario, I have one building. So in case you have 50 building, just populate 50 building, and after doing that, you'll be able to populate data of all the house units which you have. So then after doing that, you can click next. After that, what you need to populate here now, you need to enter the building name. So I can call it SK property. Then you need to enter the building use. So in my case, this is I can use a mixed use building. So this is a residential, maybe it contains some shops, or basically I can make it residential for simplicity. So from there, you need to choose the number of the floors in the building. So in my case, I just assume it's just ground floor, so I just choose 0. So I just choose the number of units, so I can select 2 units. So when I select, I'm just selecting 2 units because I don't want to populate a lot of data being a demo. So in case you have many house units, you can just do a bulk upload from Excel. So you can just populate the data of all those houses in Excel, or in case you are doing the management using the manual Excel method, or you have maybe an ERP system, you just export the data to Excel and upload it here. So from there, you need to enter house unit name. Maybe I can select, maybe this, I have named them as so I need to, the unit is 2, so I need to enter the unit name. So it can be house number 1, so I can call it H1. So the floor is contained in the ground floor, so I can just choose 0. So I can choose the rent payable per month. Maybe it is of 24,800. So the area, the house size, maybe I can choose is 6 square meters or 7 square meters. Then from there, I can drill down and say maybe claim this house is technically is maybe you can call it a 1-bedroom apartment. So then I can come here and input another house. So this is H2. This is house number 2, which is technically in ground floor also, because my house contains only 1 floor. So I can enter the rent payable, maybe is of 30,000, with the house being 22 square meters. 22 square meters. I can make it a 2-bedroom, and just this is just hypothetical figures. So from there, you are good to go. So what I need to do now, I can scroll downward and click next. When I click next, you can notice that the building is SK property, and then I can click next again. I can click next, and when I click next, I can come here and do a submit. So to submit, you just read this acknowledgement. I certify that the information given is correct and complete. I understand that the e-rent or income tax service admin can choose to verify any details provided. So you just click here and submit. So when I submit, so this property is now registered, and you will receive a pop-up in your SIM on the number which you have registered in eCitizen, telling you that the property has been registered as is linked to your account to manage. So from there, that is how we usually register a new property for monthly rental income. So as I said, you must be receiving a rent of around 24,000 in a month, which technically average to rent averaging to 288,000 to 15 million, set threshold by KRA annually. So in case your income falls short of 288,000, which is the infimum, or above the supremum of 15 million, you are supposed to do the annual reporting of your rental income, where you can be able to adjust all the expenses and then report the income which you gain from the rental property. But the expenses which you'll be deducting from your rental income, they must be validated using eTIMS stroke TIMS. That is what you should know. So in case you get this video helpful, kindly give it a thumb up. Also, you can reach us for consultation using the contact in the description in case you want the management of your property. Also, in case